Today we are going to talk about pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle or shoulder girdle. It consists of two bones, clavicle and scapula. Basically, it supports the arm. Now we are going to talk about first of all scapula. As we have mentioned earlier, that pectoral girdle consists of two bones. First is scapula and second is clavicle. Now we are going to look at scapula. Scapula, it lies posteriorly over the ribs from 2 to 7 pair of ribs. We can say that posteriorly scapula overlies the ribs from 2 to 7 pair of ribs, and it's a triangular in shape. This is the posterior view, this is the anterior view. Anterior view, and this is the posterior view. It is a triangular shape, so it has basically three angles. This is the angle, this one and this one. This angle is at inferior side, so it called inferior angle. This is superior angle, and this is lateral side, so it called lateral angle. And it also has three borders. This one, and this one. This is a superior inferior angle. This one. This is a lateral border. This is medial border, and that one is superior border. Three angle and three borders. Three angles. This is superior angle. This is inferior angle, and this is lateral angle. And three borders, that is medial, lateral, and superior border. There is a, when we see at anterior side, this is a shallow space. This is called fossa. Subscapular fossa. And at posterior side, there is a transverse ridge over the scapula. This is called spine. Superior to the spine, there is also a shallow space. This is called supraspinous fossa. This is spine. So, superior to the spine, that is supraspinous. Supraspinous fossa. And inferior to the spinous process or spine, there is a broader space, broader and shallow space. This is called inferospinous fossa. There are three types of fossa. First of all, when we see anterior side, there is a shallow space that's called subscapular fossa. And when we see and posterior side there is also two other fossas that are superior to the spinous process, superior to the subscapular, superior to the spine, that is supraspinous fossa, and inferior to the spine, that is called inferospinous fossa. There is also, as we have discussed earlier, there is a spine, the transverse ridge over the posterior side is the spines, and extension of the spine, that is called, this is a process which is called acromion process. This is a plate-like structure and process that is called acromion process. The three fossas, subscapular fossa, superiospinous fossa, and inferiorspinous fossa. Scapula is held in place only due to these three fossas because muscle attachment over these three fossas. The most complex structure of lateral angle of scapula, that is lateral angle. Here is the three structures we will discuss soon. First of all, acromion process, and second one is coracoid process, and third one is glenoid cavity. The first one is acromion process. When we see posteriorly, there is a transverse ridge that's called spine, as we have mentioned earlier, and extension of this spine, there is a plate-like structure that is called acromion process. This is a firm point where clavicle is attached laterally and form a joint because this name is acromion process, and form a joint with with clavicle and make a joint that is called acromioclavicular joint. Acromioclavicular joint. This is the sole point of acromioclavicular joint, scapula with clavicle, and it articulates a pendicular skeleton with axial skeleton. The second more complex structure, that is coracoid process. It's a finger-like projection, finger-like structure, but it's also a vague resemblance with crow's beak. It's called coracoid process. It just only attachment with bicep muscles of arm and also the rest of muscles. That is coracoid process. And the third one is glenoid cavity. Laterally, this is the glenoid cavity. Here is the glenoid cavity. It is also the humeral attachment. Head of humerus is loosely attached with the help of muscles over here and form a joint that is humeroscapular joint. It is loosely associated with humerus as well as with scapula, as glenoid cavity, and often it is dislocated due to its loose attachment. So these were the three structures at lateral angle, that is acromion process, cricoid process, This is the acromion process in a pyramid structure, and this is the crooked process, and laterally also there is a granite cavity. The second bone of pectoral girdle is clavicle. Clavicle are also two in number, lies horizontally. It's single bone in skeletal system that lies horizontally, bilaterally. Two in number. It's slightly S-shaped. It's its superior view. Its inferior view. Superior side is flat, and inferior there is a ridges which provide the firm attachment with muscles. It has two ends, and medially it connects with sternum at the sternoclavicular and forms the joint sternoclavicular joint medially, and laterally it connects with acromion process of scapula and forms a joint that's acromion clavicular joint. And near to the medial side at the sternoclavicular joint there is a tuberosity and process that is called conite process. It attached with muscles. Due to its location and lies superficially, its clavicle is easily dislocated. Clavicle is only the bone that is attached with scapula and forms a different joints, two joints laterally as well as medially, and forms the apex of the shoulder. This is the clavicle. And one more feature of this clavicle, because clavicle is a loosely associated and acromioclavicular joint and easily dislocated. So it is mostly fractured because it lies near to the surface of body. Any question up till now? No question? Class dismissed.